Good morning, students. In the chapter number 8, part 2, today we will explain the immunity in human beings. As far as immunity is concerned, you all know that every day different types of microbes or you can say pathogens attacks on our body like bacteria, viruses, protozoans, fungi and many more. But most of the time we feel better, it means we are healthy. But the infection intensity is more than we will suffer from any disease and then we feel abnormal and it is the state of diseased condition. As far as immunity is concerned, what is immunity? First of all, immunity word is derived from a Latin word. It means exemption from tax, exemption from the army duties, and in another word, we can say with respect to biology, exemptions from diseases. So, immunity is a ability of the body of human beings from which human being can fight from the pathogens to protect ourselves. So we will discuss the immunity in detail here. So let's define the immunity. The overall ability of the host to fight the disease causing organisms by immune system is called immunity. So basically this is the ability of the body of human beings in which it fights from the pathogens. There are two types of immunity can be seen in our body. The first is innate immunity, the immunity that we gains by birth, or you can say this is the inborn immunity. Acquired immunity, it is further subdivided in different categories and it is uptaken from the environment. So a figure is given here, active immunity and passive immunity. We will discuss this in the next part of the class. What is innate immunity? The innate immunity is non-specific because it is applicable for all the pathogens, not for any specific pathogen. It is called inborn immunity, always available to protect our body. It is also known as first line defense. This is the natural, consists of various barriers that prevent entry of the foreign agents into the body. So different types of barriers will be included here. If enters, they are quickly killed by some other components of this system. This is the figure given here. Different types of presence of cilia in the nasopharynx protects from the dust particles and microbes in the respiratory path. Tear glands produce lysozyme enzyme that protects the eyes from the infection. Mucociliary escalator in the trachea. Skin acts as a physical barrier. Low stomach pH. The pH of our stomach is very low. It protects from the microbes. And urinary tract flushed consistently. Similarly, different types of barriers. Basically, our body has different type of parts in our body that will protect from the infection. The first is physical barriers. Skin is the main barrier which prevents entry of the microorganisms. Mucus coating of the epithelium lining of respiratory, gastrointestinal tract and urinogenital tracts helps in the trapping of microbes. So you can say in our respiratory path, intestinal path, gastric path, urinogenital path, our inner epithelium contains mucus coating and it will help in the trapping of microbes. Similarly, in the physiological barriers, basically there are some specific biochemicals and enzymes that will protect from the infection. First is acidity of the stomach, kills most ingested microbes. So you can say our stomach releases hydrochloric acid that kills the microbes. Lysozyme enzyme is found in the tears, saliva, snot, kills bacteria by digesting bacterial wall. Because lysozyme is harmful for the bacterial wall, pyrogen released by WBC. This is the biochemical released by WBC, raise body temperature to prevent growth of microbes in out body. As the bacteria or any pathogen enters in our body, WBC will release pyrogen that will help in the raise of body temperature. Interferons, it includes antiviral state in non-infected cell. Basically interferon is a biochemical which is released from virus infected cells, which protects the neighbor cells from virus infection. Physical and chemical barriers can be seen in this figure. You can see physical defenses by skin. This is the most important part of the physical barrier. Our whole body is covered by skin that directly protects us from the infection. Membrane linings in the nasal passage, trachea, respiratory passage. This is the intestine, stomach and all parts of the body. Chemical defenses, you can say our body secretes sweat and oils, salivary glands secretes saliva, stomach releases stomach acid or you can say hydrochloric acid, urine, tears, mucus and interferons. So all these are the chemicals that protects from the infection of microbes. So a clear figure is given here to explain all these things. The next is phagocytic barrier. A polymorphonuclear leukocytes, in short PMNL, polymorphonuclear leukocytes or neutrophils, macrophages and natural killer cells also known as NK cells in the blood and tissue kill pathogen by phagocytosis. Phago means to eat, cytosis means by the cell. So you can say this is the cell here, this is bacteria and it is uptaken by the phagocytic cell. Inflammatory barrier, when there is a injury to the tissue, there is a release of histamine and prostaglandins by the mast cell. Our body has specific cells called mast cell that secretes histamine and prostaglandin that is responsible for the inflammation in the damaged part. Due to vasodilation, there is a leakage of vascular fluid containing serum proteins with antibacterial activity. Further, there is influx of phagocytic cells into the affected area. A symbolic representation is given here. This is the damaged part of the body. These are the leukocytes. These are coming in the part of infected area or you can say swollen area. These are the bacteria in green color and cytokinin will help in the phagocytosis. So this was the innate immunity. Second type of immunity is acquired immunity. It is also known as specific immunity because acquired immunity is specific for each microbe. If you have the immunity against bacteria, then your body is protected only from the bacteria. So it is also known as adaptive immunity. This immunity is developed after birth. That the innate immunity was inborn immunity and it is the after birth when encountered with pathogen. It means it is acquired from environment. So the immunity which is acquired from the environment is known as acquired immunity. It supplements the immunity provided by innate immunity. So adaptive immunity and innate immunity. So it is divided in two parts. Adaptive immunity is rapid response against the infection, while innate immunity is a slow response against the infection of the microbes. Acquired immunity, immunity you develop during your life after birth. Active immunity, immunity you develop after being exposed to infection or from getting a vaccine. So active immunity is developed by the natural infection or by using the antibodies artificially. Passive immunity, immunity you acquire from someone or something else. Natural, it is given by mother to baby via mother's milk, and artificial antibodies acquired from immune serum medicines. This is the graphical presentation. You can easily understand the types of acquired immunity. Innate immunity versus adaptive immunity. You can see innate immunity is a rapid response of the immune system in which macrophages, natural killer cells, dendritic cells, neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are included. While adaptive immunity, it is a slow response, and the responsible cell for the adaptive immunity is B cell. It is basically B lymphocyte that produces antibodies, and there are T cells also, and it produces CD4 plus and CD8 plus T cells. These are the two type of cells, and in both innate and adaptive, two cells are common. T cells and natural killer cells are common in both. Acquired immunity has following unique features. What are the unique features of the acquired immunity? The first is specificity. Acquired immunity is a specific immunity because it provides immunity, or you can say immune power, against a specific pathogen only. Suppose you have used the polio vaccine, then your body will be protected only from the polio. Diversity, recognize vast variety of foreign molecules. Discrimination between self and non-self. Acquired immunity has the power to identify the self and non-self particles, so it is able to recognize and respond to molecules that are foreign or the non-self. It will not respond to our own cell or molecules. Suppose you are using the glucose, then our body will identify it as a self molecule or useful molecule, and body will not react. But if you have added even a micro nanogram gram of foreign biochemical, then body will respond. Memory. After responding to the foreign microbes and elimination, this immune system retains the memory of that encounter. So, initially when our body is infected from a pathogen first time, then it will show the response that is called primary immune response. It will be a very slow response, and the second encounter with the same microbe evokes a heightened immune response, secondary immune response. So you can see, once you are trying to learning the cycling, then it takes lot of time, but as you learn the cycling and after 5 years when you will try again, then you will not take the much time. There is a difference between primary immune response and secondary immune response. A table is given here, although its explanation is not the part of your syllabus. Acquired immunity is carried out by two special type of lymphocytes. So there are two type of B cells or lymphocytes are responsible, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B stands for bone marrow. Its maturation is taken place in the bone marrow, and T stands for thymus gland. This is the training center of T lymphocytes. The B lymphocytes produce a group of protein in the response to pathogen into the blood to fight with them called antibodies. So you can see B lymphocytes produces special type of protein that is called antibodies or protein army, and its scientific name is immunoglobulin. T lymphocytes do not produce antibody but help B cells to produce them. So you can see T lymphocytes do not produce antibody because T lymphocytes are not responsible for the production of antibodies, but it helps in the production of antibodies by B cells. Structure of antibody, it is very important and question is asked many times on this point. An antibody, also known as an immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin, this is the scientific name of antibody. Antibody is a protein made chemical and is a large Y-shaped protein. Generally it show a Y-shaped structure, mainly produced by plasma cells. So there are different types of B cells, out of which plasma cell will produce the antibodies that is used by immune system to neutralize pathogens such as pathogenic bacteria and viruses. Each antibody has 4 polypeptide chains. We will see this in the figure. There are 2 chains which are small in size called light chains and 2 chains are larger in size called heavy chains. Antibody, because it has 2 heavy chains, so H2, and 2 light chains, so L2. H2, L2 is the representation of antibody. And there are different classes of antibodies produced in our body. So IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD, IgE. There are 5 types of antibodies found in our body. The symbol of antibody is Ig, immunoglobulin. This is the scientific symbolization of antibody. This is the figure number 8.4, structure of antibody molecule. You can see the inner, this orange and blue part, it is a comparatively longer chain, these two. So these are the heavy chains of the antibody, and in the side of the heavy chain you can say yellow red, this is the light chain of the antibody. So there are 2 heavy chains and 2 light chains, so it is represented by H2L2. In this structure you can see 2 heavy chains are bonded with disulfide bonds SS, and disulfide bond is also found in the same chain also. These are the light chains and it is also bonded with disulfide bonds. So a simple question can be asked on this point. Heavy chains and light chains are interlinked by disulfide bonds. So this is the place antigen binding site. This is the place where antigen will be bonded and it will neutralize the antigen. Classes of antibodies, a figure is given here: IgG, IgD, IgE, IgG and IgM. So and these are the structures of the antibodies: IgD, IgE or IgG. These have a simple Y-shaped structure, while IgA, this is the dimer where 2 units are bounded each other, and the most complicated antibody is IgM. IgA, it is found in mucus, saliva, tears, breast milk, protects against the pathogens. IgD, this is the part of B cell receptor, activates basophils and mast cells. It will cause the inflammation. IgE protects against parasitic worms responsible for allergic reaction. So this is important point. IgE is responsible for the allergic reactions. When you are suffering from an allergy, then presence of higher concentration of IgE is the symbol of allergy. IgG secreted by plasma cells in the blood, able to cross the placenta into fetus. This is again important. Which antibody is transferred from mother to baby via placenta. Then IgG and IgM may be attached to the surface of B cells or secreted into the blood, responsible for early stages of immunity. So, although this is not given in your book, but it is for your kind information, you can learn lot of things from this table. Now, adaptive immunity is further divided in two parts: AMI and CMI. Antibody mediated immunity, the immunity which is attained by the presence of antibodies, where only antibodies will participate to kill or neutralize the pathogen, while the cell mediated immunity, CMI, where directly cell will help in the neutralization of pathogens. So immune response by the B cells by the production of antibody is called AMI, antibody mediated immune response, and the another name of this is humoral immune response. So in the AMI, B cells are responsible and its antibodies are responsible, while immune response by T cell is activation of cytotoxic killer cells, which detects and destroys the foreign cells and also cancerous cells. So cytotoxic killer cells can identify the foreign cells in our body and also can identify the cancerous cells, called cell mediated immunity response. Rejection of organ transplants due to T lymphocytes. Many times you can see when in case of kidney failure, doctor have transplanted the kidney, but if it is rejected by our body, then it is because of T lymphocytes. So difference between B cells and T cells. Basically this is a cartoon presentation here. The purple colored structure is showing the B cells and black colored structure is showing the T cells, where I attack invaders outside the cells. In the B cells, it will attack outside only, while I attack invaders inside the cell, while the T cell will show the internal targets. What is active immunity? Active immunization is the induction of immunity after exposure to an antigen. As the antigen enters in our body responds. Our body become active. Antibodies are created by recipient and may be stored permanently. Many times antibodies are created by the recipient and it may be stored. When the host is exposed to antigens, what are the antigens? Antigens are the foreign particles that activates the immune system of human being, which may be in the form of living or dead microbes. The antigen may be living microbe, dead microbe, other foreign proteins. Antibodies are produced in the host body. Active immunity is slow and takes time to give its full effective response. Injecting microbes deliberately during immunization or the infection of microbes naturally induced active immunity. So active immunity is induced by injecting the weakened microbes or by the infection of microbes. Active immunity is developed. What is passive immunity? Passive immunity is the transfer of active humoral immunity of ready-made antibodies. So in the passive immunity, we will use the ready-made antibodies or serums. Just you can say ready-made antibodies are directly given to protect the body against foreign agents. Suppose a dog bites you, then you will have to use the ARS, anti-rabies serum. Many times any cut can be seen on our body or you are damaged, then we use ATS, anti-tetanus serum, and the third one is anti-diphtheria serum. Similarly, passive immunity, colostrum is responsible for the passive immunity because mother gives antibody via milk. So colostrum of mother contain abundant antibody IgA to protect the child, and fetus receives some antibody IgG from mother during pregnancy via placenta. So these two antibodies IgA and IgG are given by the mother to baby. IgA from mother's milk and IgG from placenta. So again, a diagrammatic presentation: active immunity, passive immunity. It is divided in natural and vaccination, maternal and artificial. Fine. So in the next part of the chapter, we will study about the organ transplantation. Many times due to accidents, due to severe infection, and sometimes due to physiological problems, our body organs are automatically become inactive and become functionless, just like kidney. Such condition is known as kidney failure, liver inactivation. So these incidents causes the failure of the organs. In that condition we need organ transplantation, the transplantation of healthy organ into the diseased or needy person. At the time of organ transplantation, we need to undergo a specific scientific activity that is known as tissue typing. Now the question is, what is tissue typing? It is a procedure in which we check the compatibility of the tissues of the donor and recipient person. If someone is ready to donate the kidney and someone is ready to receive the kidney, then prior to organ transplantation we need tissue typing. We will check the compatibility of the organ so that it must not be rejected in future in the recipient's body. So what is tissue typing? Tissue typing is a procedure in which the tissues of a prospective donor and recipient are tested for compatibility prior to transplantation. So we will have to check the compatibility so that the transplanted organ is not rejected. Tissue matching, blood group matching are essential for organ transplantation. Even after tissue typing, immunosuppressant medicines are required before and after transplantation. So a diseased person will have to use these type of medicines lifelong. Now the question is, who can donate the organ? What type of organs can be donated? Where will be the suitable place for transplantation? And what are the violation of the rules? So grandparents, grandchildren, first cousins to be allowed to donate. In our family, twins is the suitable donor for the donation of organ. Then the brother and sisters, cousin sisters, then parents. As far as type of organs are concerned, kidney, liver, bone marrow, eye, heart, lungs, and tissues can be donated. And only authorized hospitals can transplant. Lower jail terms but higher fines for violation of the transplant laws. Every country has specific transplant laws and its violation may lead to the jail, and no need to be relatives to donate eye and bone marrow. There is a rule in the normal conditions, bone marrow and eye cannot be donated by our relatives. Methods of HLA typing, phenotypic methods, serology, microcytotoxicity and tissue typing. This is beyond your syllabus. Genotypic methods, PCR detecting HLA genes, PCR, RFLP, VNTR typing, STR typing, DNA sequence based on typing and karyosome. So ignore this. This is beyond your syllabus. It is just for your information. Now the next part of this chapter is vaccination and immunization. The principle of immunization or vaccination is based on the property of memory of the immune system. I have already explained there are two types of cells responsible for the immunity, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. And B and T lymphocytes has memory cells there. The antibodies produced in the body against vaccine would neutralize the pathogenic agents during the actual infection. The vaccines also generate memory B cells and T cells that recognize the pathogen quickly on the subsequent exposure. Difference between vaccination and immunization. What is vaccination? Vaccination is the administration of antigenic material, a vaccine to stimulate an individual's immune system to develop adaptive immunity to a pathogen. So first of all, vaccination will develop the adaptive immunity in which vaccine is given to the baby or person. What is immunization? It is a process whereby a person is made immune or resistant to an infectious disease, typically by the administration of a vaccine. Suppose this figure is showing the OPV, oral polio vaccine, passive immunization, preferred antibody or antitoxin injection for specific antigen. It provides specific immunity to the antigen, and injection of antivenom for snake bite to counter the snake venom. Some examples are given here. Already I have explained ARS, ADS, ATS, anti-rabies serum, anti-diphtheria serum, anti-tetanus serum, and snake venom. Anti-snake venom, it will protect our life from the snake bite. Passive immunity develops after you receive antibodies from someone or somewhere else. Natural antibodies received from the mother's milk and placenta. Antibodies received from mother through breast milk. This is the mother and this is baby. Artificial antibodies received from a medicine, from a gamma globulin injection or infusion. So there are two types of passive immunity here. Vaccine production. So this is the another important step. In the modern era, recombinant DNA technology is used for the production of different types of vaccines. Recombinant DNA technology has allowed the production of antigenic polypeptide of pathogen in bacteria and yeast. So basically, antigenic polypeptides are developed by using the bacteria and yeast. Vaccine produced by this approach allow large-scale production of antigen for immunization. Hepatitis B produced from the yeast. So Hepatitis B is produced by using the yeast. This is the virus. This is the desired or alien DNA attached to the vector. It is transferred here, and basically this is the symbolic representation of vaccine production. So dear students, in the summary of part 2 of chapter number 8, we have discussed about the immunity, the ability of the body to protect ourselves from the pathogens. We have discussed about the organ transplant in case of accidents, in case of severe infection, when any organ is failed, just like kidney failure or other parts of the body, then it is replaced by a healthy organ, then it is called organ transplant, and it requires tissue typing for the compatibility of the tissues of donor and recipient. And on the other hand, there is a different types of immunization programs carried out by the government of India, in which vaccines are used. It is a very popular word nowadays, vaccine, because world is working on the preparation of Covaxin. This is the vaccine against corona, and Russia is the first country in the world who claimed that they have made corona vaccine. So dear students, try to learn all these topics. If you have any problem, you can ask the questions. Try to emphasize more and more on the topics. Raise a lot of questions to me so that you can learn lot of things. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.